Alrighty, thank you for joining. We are live here. I am your host, Myki Angeline, with the Women's International Music Network, and this is our live video podcast series, Live Front and Center. And today's guest, it's going to be fun to learn how we actually met each other. But before I do, I need to remind you, please, you see that button below that says subscribe. If you want to see future shows that we have, which go live on our Facebook, which go live on our YouTube, please make sure to like our Facebook and follow our YouTube. And you'll see we've had other interviews there too. So without further ado, let's get into the interview I have Laura Welch with, I took it away, WTS drums. So thank you for being on the show, Laura.
Thank you for having me. This is great.
And you are the content designer, correct?
Yes, content designer. Welch Tuning Systems is the full name, but kind of transitioning to WTS drums or just WTS.
And how we met, which I think is so great, is we both that were attending, well, I tried to attend, the NAMM Show went viral for the first time this year. They had to go online, like everything in music. And you had reached out to me and I thought, oh my gosh, I was so grateful that you did, because, the Women's International Music Network, we're always looking for, women to highlight and emulate and show what you do. And in drums of all things, because that's an instrument that's like the least recognized for women in the industry. Mm-hmm. And so why don't you tell you what, look at that. People are already in the chat room saying hi. Lars and Bonnie say hi. So how about this? I am going to throw up your website. And as I do, why not give everybody a little bit of a background on what your company is all about?
Yeah, so I'll wait till you get it up there, but.
Alrighty. There we go.
Our company, we make drums that have a revolutionary tuning system on it. It's one adjustment, adjusts both heads. So it's 1 point of adjustment, tunes the whole drum in seconds. Just like tuning a guitar or a bass. It's actually just like a bass tuning mechanism. One adjustment tunes the whole drum. And so we sell drums full series with this proprietary tuning system on it. And we launched in 2019 at that NAMM show, and then ended up actually winning Best in Show at last year's NAMM show.
Congratulations. Oh yeah, let me accept your cookies. Congratulations on that. That's incredible, because your company started in 2015 and it was just the tuning aspect of it. And then you realized we're probably going to do a lot better if we actually have our own drums to showcase these things, right?
Yeah, we realized, it's such a new type of tuning system. People are so used to lugs and tension rods that we realized we needed to get this into people's hands so that they could really understand the benefits for themselves. And so we launched our own line, the Artistry series, and then this year we've got a few new ones.
Oh my gosh. And I have to throw here. So we're going to look right here, y'all, Tammy Mitchell Woods, because we interviewed her on Live Front and Center a couple of months back. And you have got quite the roster of people already. This is great.
Yeah. And
you represent.
We're growing our family pretty steadily. And of course, always looking for new drummers to join.
You hear that? Always looking for new drummers, especially women drummers. Yeah. And let's touch on that, because, where is your stance with that, with the importance of women in music, especially women in the drumming community?
Well, as a company, we definitely take a stance of wanting to be diverse and inclusive, and we want to represent that with our artists and showcase the talent that is in our industry, and that includes women, of course. And so it's been really exciting for me. I joined the Drummer Girls United page, getting to know, it's fantastic, and getting to really know the community and be a part of it has been wonderful. And I'm really excited to include more of those women in our own story.
That's a great page to do that, because there's over like 6,000 members on that page already. And we've got Janet Proctor says hello.
Hi, Jen.
And Tracy Rhodes says, oh yeah. And hi, Bonnie. I love you too. Bonnie's she's like the number 2 important person for the Women's International Music Network. Her
Oh,
and
great.
her and Laura are the reason the She Rocks Awards was as fracking awesome as it was, because Laura did watch that, Bonnie. Laura did watch that.
It was awesome.
So then and you mentioned that you have this new equipment, which is so awesome. And you attended NAMM, and let's touch a little bit on that, because this was the first time in the history of NAMM that they had to go online as well. And I tried, we discussed this off camera. I had tried, but I was so involved with the She Rocks Awards, I didn't get a chance to. However, that's how you and I met, because you reached out to me. So what was your experience like, and what was the difference between being in person versus this?
It was a lot quieter, I'll say that, because normally we're in the drum hall, which of course you can't even hear yourself think. But this year it was set up kind of like a social media platform, which was interesting. And so the way I got hold of you was, of course, reaching out through their messaging system, which was pretty cool. And then, we actually launched 4 new products at this year's show, which is crazy, especially given the
crazy.
pandemic this last year.
Let's see if I can share that. That's only a video file. I was going to try to share. You know what? I think I could pull this up. Yeah, you have, is it 3 items, right?
Actually,
or is it 2?
So we launched the Epiphany Series. There's a 3-piece shell pack. We also launched Epiphany Series Snare, and those are all for working drummers. We decided we needed to come out with a much more affordable line of drums that are still professional. So the professional gigging, working studio drummer. We also launched the WTS Pruitt signature snare. So he's one of our amazing artists, and it's a brass 13 by 7/2 snare. And then finally, we also launched hardware, WTS hardware for drum builders, which is a new. So that's the 3-piece Epiphany series, and
it's beautiful.
Yeah,
look at that.
4 new finishes, wrap finishes for that, and that's the blue sparkle.
Oh yes. And then let's see. Can I come? Well, okay. And then I did not mean to cut you off because I got so excited to pull that up. What was the 4th thing you had mentioned?
So we are also offering hardware for drum builders.
That's what it was.
Yep. So that's really exciting. It's something people have been asking for a while. So we decided to make everybody happy and offer that now. So it's available on our website. All of those are.
Oh yeah. You know what? Here, let's pull that up too, because I just pulled that up. It's this here.
Yep.
Right?
So we have kits for toms, bass drums, snares, and then individual parts. Again, it's for drum builders. We don't recommend retrofitting. The nice part about our system is we've got 90% less holes in hardware than traditional tension rod drums. And so by putting this on new shells, you're not punching in and ruining the wonderful resonance that naturally comes with your shells.
Ooh,
which is a part of,
and
it's a part of why our drums sound so amazing. It's not just the tuning system, it's the fact that you're not, ruining the natural range of sounds that these shells can produce.
And LA Wood says loves it. Did you want me to pull up that little video you had shared?
Yeah, sure. So this is the WTS Steve Pruitt signature snare. It's brass.
Yes. So we're going to do like 15, 20 seconds of this video, but it gives you an example of how the tuning works and how it changes the sound. So let's pull that up. Do I have that? Okay. Right. Oh, I love that. You know what? I let that go a little bit longer because I missed the sound of drums. And when you talked about the difference at NAMM, I bring my sticks, and that is like my favorite area of NAMM to be. And you never have to ask where to find it. You just have to listen, because you've got like 5,000 people beating on drums and cymbals and kicking, hi-hat, everything. And that sound was just gorgeous to my ears.
It is a lot of fun. We definitely missed that this year. Yeah, it was really different in that way, not having that hands-on approach and getting to see the reaction of drummers when they sit down at a kit. I mean, 90% of people, their jaw just like drops open. It's pretty great.
Don't
But
you love that? Mm.
I did. It's really fun, and it's I love bringing that joy of the music to people and of our products. But this year was nice. We were able to touch base with people one-on-one, which was different. I actually had a video call with one of the girls I met last year. She's a drummer. She's also in Drummer Girls United, Alexa Kent. So that was really fun. Just had a very quiet, just one-on-one talk, and that was great. But
Yeah,
I think we're definitely looking forward to life going back to normal and being able to have that in-person experience again and get to see our friends and Welch Tuning Systems family again. So.
Oh, absolutely. Crossing fingers. And, I'm
Mhm.
putting all the energy into the universe that the 2022 NAMM is back on track. Because for me, probably like you and everyone watching, that's like our family music reunion.
It is.
We get to see so many people from around the world in one place at one time. And we always, you're messaging people, you're doing either Facebook groups or you're emailing or texting going, I'm going to be here. Let's meet here. And it's just the hugs and the fun and playing with all the instruments and seeing all the demos and like nothing beats it, especially for drums. I think of all instruments, that one, you've got so many components to a drum, even if it's just even an electric one, still there's so many compared to, other instruments. It's gotta be, you gotta be there to feel that.
Yeah, you definitely do. It's a really unique experience. It's exhausting, but even this last one was exhausting.
Was it really?
It was. I think this is something that everybody in our industry has been struggling with, is trying to figure out the digital realm and helping showcase their work, or in our case, our products digitally and not in person. And so that was something we worked really hard on, throughout WiMN was trying to pull together a lot of different videos, including the one you just showed. We had another artist showcase his performances he's done doing hip hop and contemporary music with our drums. It was really fun. Not the same as the normal NAMM, but fun to like pull in all these different artists from all over and showcase their work.
Oh, and I love that you have other genres you're doing. You mentioned hip hop and what was you said hip hop and
his was hip hop and contemporary music. We also had a jazz quartet play live streaming. That was incredible. Yeah, it was just it was a fun week in that sense. And I think the only difference I was doing it with my husband Sam, he's the CEO of our company. We actually got to enjoy some of the performances that week because we weren't in a booth all day. So that was
there's
nice.
a plus. Okay, there's a plus. I do definitely, and I have to say I felt I'm bummed that I didn't get a chance to attend it like I wanted to, because it utilized the online thing. It was the same account that I used. I did a 2-week online podcast conference last year, and I didn't know it, but once I signed up to NAMM and said I'd do this, it just incorporated all. So I was already up and set and ready to go, and I already knew how it worked. So that is a fabulous way and quick way to reach out to way more people. Then, when you're at NAMM and you got to physically try to walk to all the booths. I mean, because NAMM's not small, and that's quite the workout. So that was a plus, having that. And like I said, you reached out to me, which I thought was great. I reached out to other people. People reached out to me. But the downside, of course, is not physically, the tangible part of it. But hands off to them for still carrying it on. I think I would have much rather them do that than cancel it altogether. You just can't, you can't cancel NAMM.
I agree.
So now let's get more into you, because you've been with the company 3 years. You're the content designer, but let's go back, because your background, get ready, everybody. Laura's background is anthropology, and she worked in museum.
So it's anthropology, and then I went to school for museum studies after that.
That's what it was, museum studies. So that intrigues me. So let's give a little generalization. What got you into anthropology and then to museum? And then at what point did the light bulb go music?
So
music.
Anthropology was I love humans. I love culture. I love learning about different ways of life, and that's kind of how I got in the anthropology realm. I also am a complete history nerd, and so I took that a bit further, and that's where I went to grad school for museum studies, so that I could start sharing some of those stories that I love, either in history or just different people across the world. A lot of the museum work I've done is just storytelling. And I actually took a bit of a break after first, couple real jobs in the museum realm, and did a bunch of worked as a lift operator at a ski center and a zip line guide and a bunch of other crazy jobs. And eventually, I met my husband down in Wyoming, and I actually had started working at a museum then. I started getting into graphic design there and really enjoying that. I redid an entire exhibit hall for the museum, and so I was the one not only doing research along with my coworker, but I ended up doing all the graphic design and building out parts of the website and doing a whole interview section of the website to do with the story we were telling. And I found I really enjoyed that aspect of the storytelling, the visual parts of it, and a little bit more of the modern realm, not just the behind the scenes, writing exhibit labels, which I do love that too. But anyway, so when I met Sam, he had just he still hadn't told anybody about his invention, this innovation for the tuning system for the drums. He told me, and I thought it was really cool, and decided to help him with my organizational skills, which is something I also nerd out on.
And it's so important to have.
It is, yeah. And so I didn't work full time for him right away. I just helped him on and off. And then as the company picked up pace, I joined ranks and ended up, now I manage all the social media, and I've built out the entire website. I do all the other graphic design work, and then I just help out on an administrative level as well as needed.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Did you take classes for that? Because the website's beautiful.
No, it's been a school of hard knocks, but it's been a lot of fun. I've had help from other people along the way, kind of giving me some direction, but all of it's been pretty much self-taught.
Good for you.
Thank you. But
wow.
yeah,
That's
it's
interesting.
Just storytelling, and I love the story, and I really believe in our product. I think it brings a lot of benefit to people, and I love that, and I love the music industry. So it's been really fun to be able to share that.
And you have a background in music a little bit, don't you?
You
mentioned?
So I grew up playing the French horn. My aunt's a music teacher. My mom plays a bunch of instruments as well. And then I like to sing as well. And then the last few years I've been trying to learn the ukulele, which has been slow going. It's very different than playing French horn.
Very. But easier than guitar, but very different.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it depends. If you do the traditional 4-string ukulele, because they sure make them with 6 and 7 now.
No, it's just
crazy.
4. I figured that was a good start.
Yeah, that instrument really took off in the last few years with the younger generation. A lot of them doing them on their TikToks, and it went from Snapchat to TikTok, and it's just such an easy way, and it's a beautiful, simple sound that what I find is it's a beautiful sound that supports vocally. So if you're a singer,
that's why I wanted to do it.
Yes, and you play along with that. It doesn't drown it out. You can either have it plugged in or just without, and it's a beautiful sound. So good for you. So, the challenge, Laura, should you accept it, is to do a little video somewhere. Maybe you could do an IG reel of you singing once you get the ukulele down.
It's going to take a little bit more work. But yeah, at some point it'd be nice to be at that level. Actually getting involved with all these women's music groups like the, Women's International Music Network, the Drummer Girls United, seeing all of those women just, kicking butt with their instruments is definitely inspiring and has gotten me to get back into practicing more. And I'm assuming that it does that for other people as well. So it's pretty cool.
It does. It does for me. I'm grateful. I mean, I belong with so many organizations, including the ones you mentioned, Girls Rock Sacramento. I affiliated with a local group here. Skips Music does a Stairway to Stardom, but I'm telling you, this right here, the Women's International Music Network, has been my lifeline, especially in this last year. And there's just so many of us in this industry that are not getting the recognition that we deserve.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Every time we look at the survey, it doesn't really bump up. It's always under 10% of acknowledgement all across the board, whether you're an instrumentalist, a singer, whether you produce, whether you're a sound engineer, whether you're it's like, but the change is coming. The change is coming. And people like you and then your company is going to help change that. So as we wrap this up, because we all know music, live performances, live theater and music took the hardest, longest hit last year because of the pandemic. And it doesn't look like we're not going to be able to be above water till at least, what did they say? Like closer to Christmas, end of summer, closer. Like they keep moving that goalpost because we don't know. Mm-hmm. So in knowing this and with your company, how has that impacted Welch Tuning Systems, and what have you done to navigate so that you can see, success in this year in 2021?
For sure. Yeah. It's been a really hard last year, as it has for all of us. But we just keep looking for ways to not only make it work for ourselves, but also to support our dealers. We have, a number of retailers. We've been trying to support their live events, their virtual events and such. And then that's actually why we came out with the products we did this year, coming out with the Epiphany Series. It's about half the cost of the Artistry Series. That was a way to help, musicians who are struggling so they can still access our product. And then, we've been investing a lot in our virtual content, our videos and such, because even though people can't necessarily get their hands on our products in stores, if stores are still limited on their access, at least we're, trying to get that out. But mostly we've been just trying to share any of our artists' videos that they're doing, or any of the venues that have our drums. Any way to keep people positive and moving forward, hopefully we're hoping, our Epiphany Series, it's on pre-order right now, but it should be here by the end of the summer, and it's like the perfect gigging kit. And we're hoping, by then that people will be starting to get back out and doing live, in-person performances again. But
that'll be good timing, actually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
for that to roll out, and crossing fingers where everyone does their part, and we bring this freaking virus down to a point where we can all be social and do music again. That's perfect. That's good timing.
Very much looking forward to it. And hopefully hopefully we're able to support our artists and followers that way.
Oh, Ellie's so sweet. Says, keep up the amazing work. Oh, yes.
Thank you.
And please follow, it's the website's so easy, WTSdrums.com. Beautiful website, of course, done by Laura. Easy to navigate. Hit her up. You're an artist interested in, endorsement. See if you can work a collaboration, a relationship. And thank you again, Laura, for taking time out and, being on live front and center here at the Women's International Music Network and sharing with us how awesome you are.
No problem.
Anthropology, museum, French horn, sings, learning ukulele, web design, tuning instrument. Come on, you're all of that in a bag of chips. 100 bag of chips. So yes, thank you again.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, this is Myki Angeline with the Women's International Music Network. For more of these shows, please be sure to like our Facebook and follow and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We do these series often. And we're going to sign off now and thank everyone for coming, and enjoy the rest of your day.